Hey everyone, welcome back to the Gamers Hall, and today I'm here to talk about rule changes that are happening in the 2024 Player's Handbook. Let's get into it. These are 6 rules that are just not in the 2024 Player's Handbook. They're not there at all. I don't know if this means that you don't have to use them, or they're not going to matter to you. It's one of those things where you can use it or you don't have to. But if you don't know what it is, go back and look at the 2014 Player's Handbook. Otherwise, it's not going to be in the new one. But let's get started with it. The first one on this list is contested checks. Now, I don't know why this one isn't in there, because this is something I used a lot. I've seen other people use it a lot. I've seen other DMs use it a lot. I've seen a lot of the live streamers like Critical Role and other people use it a lot. It's something that I've always seen done, so I don't know why it's not going to be in the book anymore. Passive checks. Now, I don't know why passive checks are completely gone out of the book now, but this is something that I used a lot. I tend to use passive investigation, passive perception. I would do passive strength checks for certain athletics or other things like that. A lot of times I would just let passive checks go. That way a player just didn't have to roll, because if their passive was good enough, then there was no need for me to make them roll. The third thing that's gone is group checks. I don't know why group checks are gone. I love group checks. And the main reason I love group checks is because you have someone who's like, hey, I'm going to investigate. Well, I'm going to investigate. I'm going to investigate too. Or, hey, can I make a perception check? I want to make a perception check. I want to make a perception check. Or it's really, that doesn't bother me as much. It's when someone says, I want to make this check, they roll low on it. Everyone knows they roll low on it, so everyone's like, well, I want to do it. It's like the wizard made an arcana check, failed it, and now everyone, the barbarian, the fighter, the thief rogue, oh yeah, we'll all do arcana checks just to see if we pass it and we know it. It's one of those things where in real life it probably wouldn't happen that way. If the wizard didn't know about it, the thief rogue, the barbarian are probably going to look at it and be like, okay, we have no idea what it is then. If he doesn't know what it is, we sure don't know what it is. So that's one of the things of why I liked rolling group checks, because it avoided things like that where I could just be like, okay, is everyone, who all's going to be rolling this? All right, everybody roll it, and okay, this is what you come up with. The fourth thing that's going to be gone from the book, this one breaks my soul a little bit because I love having this variant option in the game, but I know that there's tons of people out there that don't like this option, and that's the variant encumbrance rule. And like I said, I get why you don't like it. I understand why people don't like it. They don't play the game because they want to keep track of these things. I'm a weirdo. I have OCD and other things, and I like keeping track of these things. I want to keep track of my weight. I want to keep track of my ammo. I like keeping up with my food resources and things like that. But if that's not your cup of tea, then I get it. I understand why you don't want to do that, or you wouldn't want to play a game that's about that. So I understand this one. The fifth one on this list is going to be a little bit of a weird one, because in a session 2 weeks ago, I had come across a similar problem where if this rule was gone, it would have totally changed the outcome of the fight and how it went. But it's squeezing. Squeezing through places is not going to be a thing anymore. I don't know if it's actually still going to be there. Maybe it's hidden in something else, but squeezing is gone. And, if you have a large creature like an ogre who's trying to go down a 5-foot hallway, how are you going to explain that? Are they just getting down it normal? Their movement isn't slowed at all? Or are you just going to say, hey, all right, it's difficult terrain? The last one, number 6, forced march. So forced march is no longer in the book, just completely gone. And I kind of understand this one. I have played very few games where forced march was something that we played, something that happened to our characters and we had to roll for it. It just didn't come up that often. Now, are there times? Yes, it has come up, just very, very few. So I think this is one of those things where I kind of understand why they would be getting rid of it. But maybe they're replacing it with a different rule, but as far as I know now, it's gone. Until then, guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and keep playing Dungeons & Dragons and having fun with your friends. Later.